Who's actually doing the resisting? You've reached Talking with Dr. Terry, 180 Seconds to a Better You, message number 95. I'm Dr. Terry Wurzbacher, and this call goes out to Chaz in California. Last night was my volunteer night at this home for the dying, and it's called Abode Home. It's not medical, it's called contemplative, which means that we care and connect with the guests and their family in a non-medical way. There's no medical wall. Have you ever thought about that? The people in the medical field, including myself, are able to hide behind this wall that keeps them from having to feel too much. I can take your vitals. I can give you medications. I can give you a bath. Let's do this test. Rarely, if ever, do you hear, "I know you're scared or worried. Do you want to tell me about it before we go on with all this testing?" Anyway, I was talking with the staff guy about some new cameras they got. He said there had been some changes he'd resisted in the past few years because they just didn't seem to fit in the way they wanted to do things. It's called Abode Home, after all, and that's what they're trying to provide. He thought people would think he's resistant to change. After I listened, I told him I thought that it wasn't him that was resisting change, but it was the other people. What? They had wanted to introduce a receptionist desk in person. I guess you call that a receptionist. They also wanted to have a computer sign-in for visitors and for volunteers. There's only 3 people in this home, by the way. It's not like there's a massive influx of traffic. But let's look at change. We've talked about that a lot, and I'm sure we'll talk about it more in the future. Change usually involves stepping out of your comfort zone. In this instance, whose comfort zone was the correct one? Is there a correct one? It seemed to me that both parties were defending their comfort zones. It was my perspective that the people who wanted to introduce these new things were used to them. They had them at home or at their work, and to come be at this home put them outside their comfort zone. They wanted to add the same type of things they were used to, so they felt comfortable. The gentleman I was talking with wanted to maintain the concept that made this place stand out from hospice and all the other care homes around, including nursing homes. Most people, when they're at this point in dying, do not care about technology. They want to know that someone cares about them and their family, and they won't be alone. The other folks wanted to change that atmosphere into something that met their needs and their expectations, not the guests. I think that's the factor that had been forgotten by everybody. They couched their desire for familiarity, calling it improvement. In my opinion, the real improvement is how this organization takes care of the needs of people in their situation. I found it to be an interesting conversation because we tend to think that the person who isn't going along with our idea is the one resisting change. Not all the time. Sometimes before we make judgments or even judge ourselves, we have to take some time, step back, and look at the entire picture.